Six-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt comes into today's race with a big lead over Rusty Wallace in the chase for his 7th Winston Cup title. He has 208 points on him, but he'll start today's event at a big deficit. You'll be 13th or 38th today. Rusty will go off 15th. Does it concern you?
Well, it is a big concern, but you know, Charlotte's done a good job with this paving job. Unlike some other racetracks, since this cement's better, you can't race side by side on cement like you can here at Charlotte. They've done a great job, so we're just going to work our way up through this field and hopefully catch a first pit stop and maybe beat some there. But it's just good. Everybody shook out here, but everybody looked good in practice racing on the surface. The surface looks good, so hopefully we'll have a great race.
Okay. Other guys looking for a great race, some young guys starting up front, and they're with Dr. Dick Bergeron, editor of Stock Car Racing Magazine. Dick?
Rookies at the front of the field, Randy. 31-year-old John Andretti, in only his 3rd ever appearance at Charlotte, has qualified 3rd. He's the guy everybody seems to want to hire to drive next year. But, John, what's your strategy for today?
Well, we just want to stay close to the front as we can the whole race and be there towards the end so we can have a run for a real good, strong finish.
And starting in front of him, another rookie making the pole for the very first time in his career, 33-year-old Ward Burton. Now, he almost won a sportsman race here a few years ago, blew a tire. That cost him that event. He almost won a Busch Series race, ran out of gas. It cost him that one. Ward, what are you going to do to prevent this one from getting away?
Well, I don't know. You know, the main thing to do is just try to be there at the end of the race, but the car is working well. My Hardy's team has done a great job for me, and we're getting better all the week, so we're making progress, and that's the main thing.
Non-cup winners in the first 2 rows of this event. The champions are further back. And now to the man who will call the lap by lap, Ken Squire.
Well, thank you, Dick. When Ward Burton escalated the speed by better than 4 miles an hour, breaking that qualifying record, upping the 1-lap average to 185.7, he also upped one other thing, concern about the speed. And to Chuck Bound, from a driver's standpoint, there has to be a lot of nervous people down here on pit road right now.
Well, Ken, in 1994, the corner speeds are faster than they have ever been. And when you hit the wall now, you really hit it. I've been driving race stock cars for over 20 years, and I've had my share of hits in the wall. But last June at Pocono, I hit the wall so hard, I'm still experiencing some double vision.
Well, we hope you're on the mend, and we're delighted to have you with us today, as we also are the man who won his last Winston Cup race right on this track in 1985, win number 83, Cale Yarborough. Are we going to see that side-by-side racing at these speeds that we've come to expect from Winston Cup?
Ken, I think you're going to see more of it than you might expect. But, you know, you've got to remember, this is one of the best racetracks in the world. You've got the best prepared race cars in the country. You've got the best race drivers in the country. I don't think you're going to see one of them looking down at the tachometer wondering how fast they go. And they're going to run side by side, 2 abreast, 3 abreast, whatever it takes to win this race.
Thank you, Cale.
42 motors have fired on pit road. Welcome to TBS Sports live coverage of the Mello Yello 500 from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. More than 100,000 fans have packed their way in here today. The 28th of 31 Winston Cup races in the 1994 season. I'm Rick Benjamin in the STP Big Communication Center. Great to have you with us today. Let's take a look at the battle for the big prize, the Winston Cup Championship. Dale Earnhardt with a more than 200-point advantage over Rusty Wallace. As we've told you today, Earnhardt starts at the back of the field, 23 spots behind Rusty Wallace. The big question is, can he get through the pack safely and run with Rusty and finish well today? Perhaps cement the driving title. It would be his 7th. He would tie the king, Richard Petty, with 7 Winston Cup championships in his illustrious career. Joining us today for the first time, we welcome Busch Series regular and front runner. He'll be handling the garage area coverage for us today, Ricky Craven.
Different view for me today, but not a lot has changed. You know, I wandered around the garage area this morning. Same old talk. Tires, speed, and the weather, like yesterday, could affect a race.
Well, we're just about set to set this field in motion. And we'll take a look right now at the Texaco Haviland starting grid. On the pole, the freshman who shattered the mark by 4 miles an hour. That's Ward Burton. Alongside is Michael Waltrip. His first front row start since '91. In row 2, the STP colors, John Andretti is there for Richard Petty. And alongside, Joe Nemechek, who formerly held the record. In row 3, it's the young sensation, 23-year-old Jeff Gordon. And there is Jeff Bodine looking for still another win, a favorite today. Derek Cope is on the inside of row 4 for Bobby Allison. And there's Brett Bodine completing row 4. In row 5, Texas Terry Labonte, fresh from victory yesterday in the 300-mile Grand National Race. And Wisconsin Rapid, Wisconsin's Dick Trickle In row 6, Ken Schrader's there, eager for a win, as is Mark Martin. In row 7 today, Mike Wallace. Great qualifying effort for the Junie Donlevy team. And Greg Sachs of New York Way. In row 8, it's Rusty Wallace, number 2 in the Winston Cup points. And Ricky Rudd. For row 9, Todd Bodine with the car number 75, Butch Mock's car. And Harry Gant makes his final performance on the track in which he won his first super speedway race. There's Rick Mast inside of row 10. And Bobby Labonte. Boy, is he coming on. And taking a look at the rest of the field as they are rolling. It's Kenny Wallace and Dale Jarrett. Row 12, Sterling Marlin and Lake Speed. Further back in the field, Jimmy Spencer, Bobby Hamilton. Row 14, Morgan Shepherd, Bill Elliott there. And as we look back through the field, Cale, a thought from you about this racetrack and this new paving.
Well, it's no doubt about it. It's a great paving job, Ken. It's smooth. I don't think I've seen any. I talked to anybody that's run on any racetrack that's been repaved lately that's as smooth as this is. So I just think it's going to be a great race.
Still a dip in turn 3, still the ripples in turn 4, Chuck, and they had a lot of trouble there yesterday.
Yeah, Ken, I think one of the big things to look for today is when somebody gets right up on your rear deck or to the right side of you is pulling air off that rear spoiler. It can make your car loose in a hurry.
1.5 mile track. Take a look at it here with our Chevrolet course description. This is the Charlotte Motor Speedway over which they'll battle for 500 miles this afternoon. At Dog Lake, kind of easy in there, 5 degrees. When you get in those corners, you're up 24 degrees, and it sure comes around in a hurry, Cale.
Well, it sure does, Ken, especially the speeds they're running now. You know, like you said before, it's almost Daytona speeds, and with the racetrack being resurfaced and getting around so quick, you'll think you're on a half-mile racetrack here today.
MasterCard race analysis. There you see it. 1,000,001, approximately 42 cars. Divisional starters out back. Bit of a surprise. Kyle Petty back there again, and Steve Grissom. He came from out back yesterday, made a great run, then lost an engine. 154 mile-an-hour average is the mark for this race as we settle down for a start. 334 laps, 500 miles the distance. Welcome aboard and hope you enjoy the coverage. Pace car ready to drop off. Elmo Langley ready to bring it in. Jeff Bodine with the Excite car giving you that shot. Here's Terry Labonte. Field comes down for green. And 33-year-old Ward Burton with the first pole of his career, a rookie, takes the field into turn 1.
Looks like Ward's going to get the jump off the second turn. He's got a good opportunity to lead this first lap.
Coming to speed for the first time. John Andretti digs on the inside. Grabs second place. Nemechek trying the bottom 2 on Michael Waltrip. He's there for 3rd. 1 lap down, and also on the move, it's Jeff Bodine, number 7. Remember, Jeff's on those Hoosier tires. And a week ago in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, first man in years to win by over a lap. Here's Jeff Bodine giving you these shots from the Excite car. Further back on board with Terry Labonte going up the outside on that 24-degree banking, coming out of 4, squeezed right up against the wall. Mark Martin right next to him, dropping back a bit. There you see Derek Cope, the Allison, number 12. Good start. And let's take a look further back in this pack. A lot of young guys looking really good out here today, Chuck, particularly in qualifying. And here comes Earnhardt fighting his way up through in the number 3. Remember, he started 38th today. That's Jeff Burton just in front of him, and Jeremy Mayfield in Cale's car, the number 98, is up to 32nd. How's it feel to sit up here and watch that old 98?
Well, it feels good. You know, Jeremy's doing us a fine job. He's just young and needs more experience, but he's got a bright future here.
Jeremy Mayfield, another freshman driver out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Ward Burton stays first. Andretti is in second. Let's watch as once again Earnhardt gets pushed right down to the bottom. Spencer there. Mayfield on the outside making a move as well. Jeremy picking up a spot, and Jimmy Spencer. Musgrave just in back of them. And up to 30th moves number 3.
He doesn't want to waste much time back there in the pack. He knows the safest place to be is at the front.
Oh, got one car in the wall. In trouble. Earnhardt gets through. Maybe. Somebody may have touched the side of him. Jimmy Spencer spins. This is at the end of lap 5. I believe Earnhardt spun just after that. We'll have to take a look and replay as we look further up the track. There you see him coming by. Caution is out at lap 5. And the car in trouble, Bobby Labonte. Safety crew there immediately for car number 22 as it slams the wall backwards. Boy, that's a toughie for Bobby Labonte.
We really hit hard, Ken, to have that back end mashed all the way in. It looks like it might have ruptured the fuel sump.
He has already climbed out of the car and run to the wall.
Well, that's good news. That car was a ball of fire.
Earnhardt damage. Nose. Bobby Labonte was 17th when that got away. Here's Todd Bodine on pit road. Here's another look. He's already had pretty strong contact with the wall, and Bodine in front of him has also been up there. See Earnhardt down at the bottom trying to get through.
Look at all that fire. It's a full load of fuel there.
Most dangerous time just on the start. Earnhardt spinning. Todd Bodine into the wall.
Okay, looks like Bobby Labonte was on the inside. May have got a little air taken off his rear spoiler, and he just spun around and collected a little bit of Todd Bodine as he slid up the banking and backed it into the wall. And that impact against the wall with that back of that car just ignited that fuel.
See Earnhardt, number 3, down on the bottom. Lucky there. Morgan Shepherd scoots underneath him.
I think he pulled that one off. I believe that little hood damage is not going to be too severe.
Under caution at lap 6 of 3:34. Bobby Labonte appears to be okay. We'll be back with more in a moment.